Hello and welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll see how to auto-generate invoices in PDF format from Google Sheets using Plumsail Documents and Make.com. No coding required. We'll explore two examples of workflow automation. First, we'll generate a single PDF invoice from a new entry in the spreadsheet. And second, we'll see how to bulk generate multiple invoices from multiple rows in the spreadsheet. In both cases, the generated invoices will be saved to Google Drive and emailed to the customer. The data will be coming from this Google spreadsheet with standard invoice fields: number, date, company, contact information, services, and pricing. And even though in our case we'll be using Google Sheets, you can implement the same setup using Airtable, various CRMs, web forms, or any other structured data source that can be connected via Make.com. So let's dive in. And let's start in Plumsail Documents, as we need to create our invoice template first. If you're new to the platform, we offer a free 30-day trial. First, let's create a new process. And Documents process is a document generation tool that allows you to populate a template with the custom data, like a report, invoice, quote, contract, etc. And then you can send these documents by email, save them to the cloud storage, or request a signature. So let's click on Add Process, and we'll choose Start from Template. But there's also an option to create a process by building a template from scratch. And we've got a wide range of templates in our library, all sorted by categories so you can browse and find what you need. Under Invoices, I'll select the Sales Invoice template. It's in a Word format, but we'll easily convert it to PDF shortly. And I left the link to the complete library with templates in the description to this video. So let's give our process a name and click Next. And here we have a standard invoice template. Some fields are populated with fixed data, such as company name and address, and some fields contain tokens. And what is a token? Token is a placeholder or variable enclosed in curly brackets, and these tokens will be dynamically populated with actual values during the document generation process. In our case, it will be data from the Google spreadsheet. At the top of the invoice, we have tokens for invoice number and customer. There's also a formatted date token, which is set to the US date standard and will be populated with, for example, June 4th, 2025. And you can easily edit any of these tokens in the desktop mode or using the online editor. Our invoice also contains a table for listing products or services, and for this we use a different type of token, a nested token with a dot operator. These are ideal for adding collections of items with their properties. In our case, an invoice may have multiple services and cost per each, and they will be handled as a collection. So inside the table, we use the following tokens: services.description and services.amount. If there are multiple line items, the table will automatically populate each one accordingly. And the total cost is calculated using the sum formatter. And I'll include the link to the article on various token formatters in the description to the video. So let's change the bank name, close the editor, and now we can click Save and Next. Now in the template settings, I'll switch the template mode to production. However, if you're still figuring out the template or setting up the workflow, you can keep it in testing. And let's change the file name to invoice. And any of the tokens from your template can be used in the file name. For example, we can add customer company or number, and tokens will make each file name dynamic and easy to identify. Let's switch the format of the generated invoice to PDF, or you can keep it as docx. And now we're all done with the template. Let's click Save and Next. And Plumsail Documents has an amazing built-in feature called Delivery. So you can automatically email your generated documents, save them to OneDrive or Dropbox, or send for e-signature via DocuSign. But today we'll handle all the delivery and scheduling through Make. So let's go to the next step and select the automation platform and click on Make. As you can see, there are several ready-made scenario templates available, so you can easily pick one and experiment with. However, for our setup, we'll start with Google Sheets, so let's head over to Make.com. First, I'll log into my Make account and click on Create New Scenario. Our first scenario will be to automatically create a single invoice for each new row in Google Sheets. So we start with Google Sheets module, Watch New Rows. First, we need to select the spreadsheet ID and the name. And let's set the maximum number of results to 1, as we are just testing for now. This value can be increased to process more newly edited rows in a single scenario run. And I'll also set to start from all. Now let's add Plumsail Documents, Start Document Generation Process module. And by the way, this is not the only Plumsail Documents module available in Make. Check out the article linked in the description. I'll select the invoice process that we've just created, and we need to map each field from the spreadsheet to the corresponding template tokens. And since Plumsail returns a file URL, I will add HTTP get a file module, and it will download the PDF document. To save a copy of the invoice, we'll use Google Drive Upload a File module. Let's select the folder from the list. And we also need to turn on advanced settings and switch the file field to map mode. Now we can build a file name using company name, invoice number, and date from our Google spreadsheet. Click Save. Oops, I think we forgot something, to add the PDF extension. And once that is fixed, we are ready for the last step, emailing the invoice to the customer. And now let's add a module from Gmail, Send an Email. And it requires me to sign into my Gmail account first. In the subject line, I will add invoice and the invoice number. For the recipient, I'll use the customer's email from the spreadsheet. And let's add a short and sweet message in the content field. As for the attachment, let's switch to map mode to give it a dynamic file name. And this time I will remember to add the PDF extension. The data field contains data from the HTTP module, and now we can click Save. And our first scenario is done. Let's see all the modules that we have used in it. And now we can test our scenario. Let's click Run Once, or you can also schedule it to run automatically every 15 minutes. And a new row in the spreadsheet is detected. A PDF is generated, saved to Google Drive, and finally emailed. First, let's check Google Drive. And here we have our invoice. And as you can see, all the fields where we added tokens are now populated with information from Google Sheets. And finally, let's check our inbox. And here we have our new message with the invoice PDF attached, and it looks great as well. And now let's build our second scenario to generate multiple invoices from Google Sheets. And this time we'll use Google Sheets Search Rows module, and it will allow us to pull several rows at once, and also you can apply filters, for example, add a time frame. So we need to again select the spreadsheet ID, the sheet name, and we'll leave the limit blank to get all rows this time. Now we can click Save. Next, let's add Plumsail Documents Start Document Generation Process module, and again we select the invoice process. And now we need to map each field from the spreadsheet to the corresponding tokens from the template like we did in the previous scenario. Click Save. And next we add HTTP get a file module to download the files from the previous step. And next we'll add Google Drive Upload a File module to store the generated invoices. We need to select the folder, and in the file field switch to map mode to create a dynamic file name for each invoice, and we'll use company name, invoice number, and of course we need to include the PDF extension. In the data field we use data from HTTP module, and that's it. Click Save. For our last step, we will use Gmail Send an Email module. I will first connect to my Gmail account, and then we'll set the recipient using the dynamic value from the Google Sheet. In the subject line, I will add invoice and its number, again from the same spreadsheet. And let's add a quick message in the content field. As for the attachment, let's switch to map mode, and we'll add invoice number and PDF extension. In the data field, we use data from the HTTP module. So let's double check everything. All looks great. Let's click Save. So let's go ahead and test our scenario. I will be running it manually. And as you can see, Make processes each row in the spreadsheet, generates invoices, saves them to Google Drive, and then sends via email. So first, let's check Google Drive. Great, here we have all the new invoices here. And now we can check our inbox. And I have received 5 new messages, each one with the invoice attached. And we've successfully built 2 fully automated scenarios in Make, one that generates 1 document for each new row, and another one that handles batch document generations all at once. And these scenarios are rather simple, but they can be expanded and customized to match the demands and complexity of your specific use case. Plumsail Documents makes it easy to generate documents using Make scenarios. And while we used Google Sheets in this video, you can do the same with Airtable, web forms, CRMs, and any other application that has connectors in Make. But generating documents is just one of the options. Plumsail Documents also supports powerful PDF actions. You can merge PDFs, split them, apply watermarks, protect PDFs with a password, all within the same process. And you can start exploring these capabilities with a free 30-day trial. And I will include all the relevant links, including documentation, templates, and process examples in the description to this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.